anyone suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark. You're listening to JoCo Community Radio.
Good morning, Jobfather Nation. We are so excited here at the yet another great week. Just a reminder, NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas. It can be heard all over the world on the TuneIn and the NTX app and radio network. You can listen on the NTX Radio app, Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We truly thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voice of North Texas. Alexa, stop. This is why you should
Nice.
to connect with Godheard and Associates Attorney at Law for your civil law needs at texasattorneylaw.com. We really want to thank Tiffany for having us on this fabulous network where we have the opportunity, our wonderful guests that have the golden stamp of approval every single week, to educate nationwide, nationally as well. We're so excited to be here with your truly Jobfather. We also want some exciting updates and introductions for you. But we bow our head for a quick word of prayer before we jump into all that. Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Father
Yeah.
God, let's do it. Father God, we are so grateful to be here to serve and bless the Jobseeker Network. We just ask that you would open up amazing doors of opportunity and anoint our conversations today, that they could be helpful and educational, as each and every individual that is in a transition is working their way through the transition to hopefully land in the best possible spot according to your will for their lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, Foster, I know we have an amazing first half. If you want to introduce our amazing guest, and I'm sure we have some updates, and of course we can't forget the dad joke of the half.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Dirk, can you hear me? I think we might only
Yep,
have
you're
Dirk.
there.
Oh,
Hi,
awesome.
Dirk.
I'm on.
Oh,
How are
and
you guys?
Awesome.
I forgot to say real quick, we love our Mez. She is behind the scenes supporting us. Couldn't do it without her. She is amazing, and we couldn't do it without Tiffany. So both, thank you.
Thank you
very
too.
much. Yeah, we are. We're here, you guys, and okay, I'm gonna try to make you guys laugh. You know, I always do it. Are y'all ready? Okay.
Of course.
Go for it.
All right. So this is Dad Joke Central. This is Dad Joke time. All right. Let's see if I can get it right. So a man brings his pet giraffe into the bar with him, and the giraffe died. I guess the giraffe couldn't take the beer. I guess if y'all have pet giraffes, you shouldn't give them beer. I don't know. Man finishes his beer, and the giraffe died. And he gets up and leaves the giraffe in the middle of the floor, and the bartender says, "Hey, you can't leave that lion there." And he says, "It's not a lion, it's a giraffe."
You're funner. That was cute, though. That was a good one. You can't leave that lion there, dude. Not a lion.
So I hope it's not listening.
Yeah, thank you, because it's right behind me today.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I figured it was. Yeah, we have fun.
I thought I whispered that pretty stealthily. I guess not.
I thought you did too.
I was like really careful.
Or however you spell that, I don't know.
Good call, Foster.
Yeah. All
We've
right,
got
guys.
a show today, Foster.
Say that again.
We've got a show today. We're excited.
Yeah, we got a good one. I got my buddy Dirk. So, guys, most of you guys know Dirk Spencer. Have heard of Dirk Spencer. Read his books. Have heard him speak. He's
been on.
Dirk is family. So you go back to me and Gail Houston, Rex and Dirk, and
It's been a long time, brother.
It's been a while. So
you had hair when we met.
You know, I did, and it wasn't his color either. Well,
No.
I don't know if you can
Foster
see the
had
color. I
hair.
think it fell out.
We both did. We both had hair in the early days. We met at a Raytheon event, and I had that long Beatles-style hair.
Yeah, you
And
did.
Foster was standing around quiet, not talking,
Foster, not quiet, not
pointing
talking.
at folks to get them directed. It was probably 5,000 people at the Raytheon plant for a job fair.
Oh, yeah.
We briefly said hello and have stayed connected since through Crossroads.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Well, and Dirk, we're so excited to hear about your truthful approach to breaking down what does and doesn't work today
it's needed
when it
now.
comes to job seeking. the fact that you're willing to take some time and come on, though, not only shows a testament to the brotherhood that you and Foster have, but what a blessing for the network. And then second half, we're so excited. Miss Sally's already on with us. We always want our guests to be on the whole show and contribute anything that they feel comfortable contributing. But we will be talking to Sally Binnix the second half of the show. And she's incredible, 10 years on the board of directors for the DFW Association of Business Technology Professionals, and she is an accomplished technical business analyst. So we're excited on the second half.
Explain to us what all that means.
Yeah, all the big words.
I try not to use big words.
No, that's okay. But we're so excited, Foster.
So Dirk, I don't want to take anything away from Dana. Dana's been recruiting for a while, so some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, the changes and things, Dana will recognize. So, Dirk, you and I, we got this AI component and all this stuff. So I'm going to turn you loose and let you start talking, and then we'll pop in with our questions and our comments.
So you got it.
No more dad jokes. So not until the second part of the show. So how about that?
Yeah. So the challenge that we're facing with AI right now is specificity of resumes. Okay. We have been qualifying resumes, rank ordering resumes since 2000 when AI first hit the market. And what's that led to is recruiters are providing hiring managers with rank ordered list of resumes after they've been reviewed. The challenge there is the AI tools are designed to please me, the end user. So it figures out how to qualify a candidate to within 99% of the rec. Therefore, I have to have my manager explain to me what is the 1% that's a kick-out factor. And if you've worked with hiring managers, many of them are not clear about their kick-out factor because the things they need continually change over the course of hiring. That has led to you seeing job posts where they want you to be very specific with your resume experience. So if you don't have go-to-market, if you don't have Series B funding experience, it is probably a waste of your time to apply. And you want to make your resume hyper-specific to the requirement, and you should have experience in the space you're targeting. If you don't have it, you're likely weeded out.
Come on, guys. You ain't going to hear nothing.
And Dirk, a question for you, because you brought up a good point. You should have experience in the place, in the field or the line of business that you are applying to in order to qualify. What do you say to those people that are trying to transition into different areas? What are the top things that you advise people that are wanting to transition, don't have the background as well? Because we have that group of people that do have the experience, that group of people that don't but are in denial, and then that group of people that are truly trying to transition. Your wisdom and expertise on this would be so exciting to hear.
So here's the trick. If you are trying to transition to something new, I tell you, work on the fundamentals, use your AI to help you get better at your fundamentals. When I'm talking about fundamentals, communication skills, not so much this broad idea of getting things done, but what problem is worthy of an AI solution, the ability to articulate that. That's going to be key for judgment, taste, and discernment with AI. A lot of failed projects happen because they did not nail that down. Second, domain knowledge. If your industry has metrics and you're trying to transition to, say, data visualization or data analysis, find the metrics in your industry and start creating projects in the data field. If you don't have any experience in a targeted environment, then you're going to have to hang a shingle, get a mentor, or build out a portfolio that proves you have the expertise. Gone are the days where a company will take a chance on someone with potential unless you're the husband, brother-in-law, son, daughter of the owner. You and I are now in a position to use AI to create portfolios of information to prove we have the expertise that you can then send to people and say, I don't have professional experience, but here's my portfolio. That combination is really the key. Excel skills are never going away, even with the advent of AI. PowerPoint skills are not going away because of the advent of AI. You need the design skills. Here's the challenge. When Excel first came out, we fired all the CPAs. We fired all the accountants, and we let bookkeepers fill that out. Today, we have a shortage of CPAs and accountants, and we've hired more people.
Is that what happened?
That's what's going
I've
on.
always wondered.
Not
Right.
in every
Now,
case, but
so with
enough of
Adobe,
them.
for example, we thought we wouldn't need design people, so we bought Adobe for everybody. We fired the graphic designers, and then we found out a thing called taste exists, design capabilities exist, and today we have hundreds of thousands of Adobe artists and also hundreds of thousands of Adobe hacks. Your company will eventually go and hire a professional. Your company eventually went back and hired CPAs. So what's happened now in the market, Amazon, there's a great story about Amazon. If you'll Google Amazon blast radius, they confessed that one of their programs that was run by AI cost them millions of dollars with a multi-hour outage.
Oh.
Why? The code was not reviewed by any humans in the loop. It was just set forward. So this human in the loop thing, human in the loop is going to be a phrase you see, and AI workflow candidates. You and I will be the people. You and I will end up doing two things in the market. One, I'll work for an AI manager. That AI manager will take a certain approach that'll be more even-handed, and I will have AI agents that I set forward to work the same way I use Word or Excel or PowerPoint, but I'll tell an AI agent, listen, respond to my email in the affirmative and follow on, flag any emails that require my direct attention. I need a PowerPoint for this presentation. I'm looking at 15 slides, and I need you to write a Word document that has an RFP for our current purchase. And it'll check in with me periodically during the day to see its progress. And as you get better at specificity, you'll get more and more work done. The challenge we've not fixed yet, AI can kick out so much information that we'll need more humans to evaluate. Like right now, Anthropic interviewed 81,000 individuals across 126 countries and asked them about their AI concerns and fears. There's no way for you and I to look at 81,000 interviews to verify that the data was reviewed correctly to produce that report. You'll need another AI to interrogate it. And that's where
I gave you 5 minutes to get that done. Before another hiring manager calls going, where are my people?
Right.
Have you heard of the concept of AI burnout, or it's a AI brain fog? Back to your comment of
yes, we've seen
AI
a lot of that. We have
information.
I worked with a recruiter who had used her AI so much. When I asked her, I said, well, what did you think of candidate A, B, C for your Treasury Open? Oh, Dirk, I don't remember. I'd have to go get my notes. And they would go find their AI artifacts, read through the notes to me, and then say, well, let me just send you the artifacts and you can read it. So now she shifted her work to me. And so when they asked me what I was doing, I said, well, the recruiter I'm working with has sent me 15 artifacts to evaluate. Well, her AI did it. Yes, but we don't know if it's true. Well, we trust the AI, don't we? No, we don't. Hallucinations. Well, the hallucinations are a growing pain. No, the hallucinations are a lack of skill by humans to use the tool correctly.
To use it, yes.
So that's the challenge. And until companies start hiring individuals and training individuals to deal with hallucinations, the AI first companies don't exist just yet. But you and I will see a difference. If you're old enough to remember mainframe computers and having to go to a room to use a computer, and then you had the PC show up, and then the PC had a mouse attached to it magically, and then you got free hard drives because they're no longer $10,000. Oh, and here's the new laptop, but you can't take it home. Oh, here's the laptop. Okay, so all of that transition we're going to see with AI, and you and I will be AI workflow managers of some sort in the jobs that still require humans in the loop. And if you Google humans in the loop, you'll see there are more and more jobs. And so if your company's doing AI, watch for this frog in the woods notification. Hey, we're going to start measuring your prompt output. So every prompt you write, you're going to get a scorecard. So I've done this on my own content. When I put out a post on LinkedIn, I asked the AI, is my logic correct? Is the sequence of ideas in the right flow? What is wrong? What is missing? And it can punch out 5 pages of what's wrong. And I have to then tell it, no, I'm an expert in this topic. I just need to know if it followed these 3 things. Then it comes back and says, you're probably 9 out of 10% there. And then I ask it at the end, what percentage of this content was mine versus yours? And it kicks back, 95% of this was yours. My 5% was organization. So I start tracking that in a document. So when someone says, what's your AI experience? I can just hand them the document and say, according to my AI, it only provides 5% of the input based around organization and logic. Oh, so you're not good at organization and logic? Correct. Great. We're okay with that because the AI can handle that.
AI can handle that one. Yep. Hey, Dirk, would you say ChatGPT is probably the most used platform? Or there are some platforms I understand that are, when we get our AI knowledge, we need to put it into our speak. It needs to sound like Sally as best as possible. And
well, here's what I do with chat.
Some do that.
Right. So with ChatGPT is probably the largest, the most widely used. The recent politics with the Department of Defense, they saw a bleed off. Like when Kimmel got fired, people left their subscription service. People have left chat to go to other vendors to register their protest. But they are still probably the largest. If you want the chat tool to talk like you, in my case, I've taken the books that I've written, Resume Psychology, Candy Maker, Resume Keywords, and I took all 3 of those books and put them into the chat. And then the chat told me, I already have these books from a previous search. And I said, well, that's my authorship. I want you to talk like how I talk in those books. And then they gave me 5 pages to why I shouldn't talk like that. And I said, great, but I need to sound human, so we're going to continue to use that. So you can just give it some emails, a note. You can also talk to the AI like you were talking to a friend and say, I want to use infinite verbs. I want to avoid words ending in ing because gerunds are bad. And so for all you English grammar nuts, you can do that. Or you can say, hey, look, all my content should follow the Chicago Manual of Style or the AP Manual of Style, and it will then provide that sort of outline for you. And you can tell it, when I talk in terms of technology, I want to be fact-based. I want to avoid metaphoric language. And when we do facts, I need to double check those facts. So give me 4 sources. And that way, it's doing the task of the heavy lifting for you, and then you're just checklisting things.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I have to say, I use ChatGPT on a regular basis, and I appreciate your insight. There's a lot of things that you just shared I wasn't aware of that was going on behind the scenes. But would you say, Dirk, that this is probably a true statement that a lot of people do worry about AI taking their place? However, it is very clear and apparent that would not happen anytime soon, that human intuition, experience, and knowledge is needed to run the AI appropriately. And AI should help us be able to do more in a shorter period of time, not necessarily at this point in time or for the foreseeable future replace
my
us.
My caveat to that is we cannot AI judgment. We cannot AI taste.
Yeah, it's true.
Or design. If you hold to those tenets, you have a legitimate argument. The challenge is, for example, I had it write a note the other day because I try to use it for everything. So I said, okay, write a response to this email. And, it was one person, Linda said, hey, Dirk, send Judy your resume. Great. I had the AI write a note. It said, dear Linda, here's the resume Judy sent you. And it didn't, it inverted who the message was for. It also cut Caroline's name down to Carol. And I had to ask it why it did that. So the discernment piece is critical for goal setting. Yeah. Judgment is its ability to go, hey, is that a worthy problem? Did you interpret a simple thing like 2 emails going to 2 different people correctly? And then this idea of taste is difficult to explain until it's like a photo. It looks bad until you can't really decide why it looks bad until you see it and you go, oh, that's a bad photo. And the AI can then tell you why it's a bad photo, but then you've biased it toward why it's a bad photo. So here's a good test. Here's another hack for your AI. There's images out there that have text that you want to see, and you normally transcribe those. You can take those images, put them in the chat, and say, hey, transcribe this image. And now you have that content available to you without having to type it yourself. When you've run a prompt that takes an hour, that's the lift. But you run a prompt that takes a second, that's not much lift. That's more work for you. So your prompt engagement, I've run prompts that take an hour. That's where I get the lift. if I run a prompt to interpret, like the screen that we have right now, I can take that to the chat and it can output all of these URLs of these different LinkedIn profiles and or their web page. That saves me some time. But then the next step is, how do I use that? Then I can say, for every email, write a note. Hey, thanks for hanging on to the network today. Sorry we didn't get a chance to chat. Please connect to me. For all the businesses that are out there, I can then scroll the business, find the contact information, and say, hey, saw your business promoted today on the chat. Would love to talk to you about service. And that's where the real lift is. If you're doing a prompt and it comes back immediately, you're just like a hamster on a wheel traversing the problem.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I appreciate that.
Well, and if you're talking about, if you said, what job should I latch onto or look toward if I want to have more contiguous employment? Business analyst skills where they have SWOT, system development, spec-driven behavior is the next step for everybody at the office to explain to the AI the problem, because currently the data for the problem is in my head, in the water cooler talk. It's not been systematized. And your ability to break it out into steps is critical. So I spoke at the IIBA several times over the past 2 or 3 years about jobs and careers. On my SlideShare presentation, slideshare.net/Dirk Spencer, there's the IIBA presentations on that and other decks on resumes. It's all free. You don't have to buy the books. And your goal is if you had to pick a job that had the lowest barrier to entry, I would say data visualization. I would tell you to get on Tableau or Power BI's free training. Each vendor has free training in that space.
Yeah, they do.
Do that free training. Build out a portfolio with data visualizations. There's lots of books on storytelling. You're going to see more storytelling requirements in job descriptions. And there's some fundamental things. And you can use your AI to tell you, I want to be an exceptional storyteller about my domain. What are the metrics? What are the OCRs? What are the KPIs? Define those and give me a detailed training plan on how to share those stories. And then give me a script on how to express that to people so I don't put them to sleep at dinner parties.
Yeah, I'm a huge
and interviews.
Great. No, that's
I'm good with putting people to sleep, especially when I'm talking about my NASA stuff.
Oh my word. Sally, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
that's okay. I'm a huge Edward Tufte fan for visualizations and how to do that storytelling.
Yeah. I did
that's how you get in those heads. Now, probably each and every one of us is a hiring manager. And what is it that trips our go forward button on a candidate? That storytelling, that ability to tell that story in a way that you used the methodology or maybe it's a certain tool that you use to do your job, and you're able to tell whether the person actually did it or not, or went to AI and got some answer that AI said. So Dirk, when you see someone that is just so blatantly AI sounding, what do you do? Do you go to the trash can with the resume?
Well, we're trying to be fair with everybody, but there are some things that give it away. The M dash, the long dash, the word signal, and noise are AI words. And we know if we see those three things, you've probably used AI to the extent that we can't tell who you are, and it ends up being rejected. My hiring managers are very hip to that. They've seen it over and over again. They create content similar to that.
Oh, interesting.
So the trick, so if you want to create, and not putting people to sleep, this idea of how do you tell a story to be seen and heard? I tell candidates today, match the context of that industry, that company, and the stage of pain the hiring manager is in. And then people say to me, Dirk, I don't know what that is. Then you're probably not the candidate. If you can do those three things, you can then land a job much more effectively. Yeah,
we've got to get through to prompt a hiring manager to want to have that conversation with us.
Right.
And that's where we get it done, because we'll get a chance. So we've got to prove everything. We've got so much technology. I love the technology. I love AI. But you know what? We've got to prove that we've done exactly what what's shown on that job description, what that company needs. We've got to be able to prove that in a
And
way
what's not on the job description,
Yeah,
right? Because sometimes they don't tell that. I had a manager tell me, do not detail the specs of this job. I want them, because they know they reverse engineer the job description. So this VP of legal said, do not put down the details of the contract lawyer that we want to hire. I want to see it organically on their profile. So if you don't know that industry, like for example, as a sourcer, and you come to me and say, Dirk, we're having X, Y, and Z pain. I have to know how that translates from sourcing. And I can say to you something like, well, you've not done open source. You've not done membership site collection. You've not done data enrichment. And if they go, I don't know what those words mean, they don't understand the problem, or they have a different problem and I've missed their context.
Right.
Hey, Dirk, we thank you. I'm hearing music.
Thank you, Dirk.
This was really, really good. Appreciate that, Dirk. And stick with us if you can. If you can't, we understand. But it's time for salary.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Hello, Jobfather Nation. Welcome back to the second half of the show. We are so excited to have you. Just a reminder, NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on the TuneIn Radio Network. You can listen through a number of resources: Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa, because it didn't work earlier, to play. So that being said, we had a wonderful first half with Dirk. We learned a lot. Now for the second half, we have Sally, and she's a technical business analyst. So we're so excited to hear from Sally and learn more. But Foster, do you have a dad joke for us for the second half of the show?
Put your brain caps on. We want to think about this. I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Here we go.
Okay, we're networking, and we look over in the corner, and there's a guy over there with a rug on his head. What do you think his name is?
With a rug on his head?
Got a rug on his head.
Did I hear you correctly?
You heard me correctly. And ALXCA.
Carpet.
Oh my God, I hate to meet a guy named Carpet.
Car.
I might
and the last
resemble
name was
that a little bit.
P-I-T-T. Just kidding. What would you
might.
say?
His name's Matt.
Oh God, dang it! That was too easy. Oh,
So I said this was. I said this was dad joke. I tried to tell y'all.
That was funny. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh man.
So
Yes.
you know, we guys, as a component of this network, we have something called the Pit Crew. It's funny when you spell that out, Dana. It remind me of the Pit Crew. The Pit Crew guys,
There we go.
look it up on
Yes.
careerdfw.org. Let me tell you again. Go to careerdfw.org and you will see the Pit Crew. The Pit Crew stands for Practice Interview Team. Now, it's a lot of times when you guys get out and you see a job that you're really excited about. Sally's done this in the past. Sally probably got the job. Sally's so good. But you know what? If Sally saw a job and she really interested in that job and she gets an opportunity, she sends in her information and they call and say, hey, Sally, we want the hiring manager to talk to you. So Sally might want to practice that interview. So that Pit Crew she connects with and she goes to hey, Sally, have you ever used the Pit Crew?
You know, quite frankly, I have not been in the hot seat. However, I've gone many times.
We got to get you there.
And I've been on panels. So
nice.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I've learned so much. Anytime I'm on a panel, I talk to my person and I remind them that no theater company goes into production without a dress rehearsal. Use the Pit Crew or all the other resources that are on the careerdfw.org and the job search networks as your dress rehearsal.
Absolutely.
Prepare you for go live.
We got to explain to these companies what it is we do. And not only that, we got to understand what it is they do and how we may apply our skills into the functionality that they need at that company, guys. That's what we're there to do. There's a number of different ways. Dirk's already told you guys a number of different ways you can use AI in order to get you to that answer, but it needs to be your answer. It don't need to be AI. AI is the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And speaking of trying to figure out, how skills relate for what you're looking for, Sally, we love to hear more from you on your experience and how that relates to what you are currently searching for.
Well,
Here's Sally.
Thanks, Dana. Thanks, Foster. I'm so glad to be here today.
Oh, we're glad you're here too.
Sally's last name is Binnix, guys. Binnix. She's the only Binnix that I know. That's so cool. I like stuff like that. Word association. Okay, I'm shutting up. Go, Sally. Tell us what. What is a technical business?
A technical business analyst or an IT business analyst. So, I as a technical business analyst, I'm driving business value by connecting people, processes, and technology. Dirk talked about how AI is a tool, not the solution.
Yeah.
And so, all of us business analysts out there, we are bringing that human in the loop because having accelerated delivery time from 2 days to 30 seconds for key financial reports, I'm translating those business requirements and delivering scalable solutions. So I thrive in that juxtaposition between business and technology. I like to say I'm bilingual in business and technology. So
you are.
Dirk talked about finding those issues at the water cooler, at the lunchroom table is where I find those pain points that my business partners, who I have taken the time to develop relationships, and they feel comfortable telling me about what is keeping them up at night. And then I can make that translation on both sides. So I can I can take those requirements for my business people, their pain points, what's working, what's not working, the process they need, how it's working and not working to what their requirements are. I can translate that back to our delivery team so that they can build out those user stories and features that meet the requirements And then when they have questions, because there will be questions, I can translate that technology back to the business users the way they can understand so we make sure that the solution, it's not technology for the sake of technology. It's technology that is a tool to solve the business problem and move the business forward.
You said the main thing. You said the foster thing, and that is the word relationship. Dana and I like that word. And we're supposed to get close to the screen.
And I did.
Exactly. Guys, Dana and I get close to the screen on that word relationship, because that's what it is. When you develop that relationship, when Sally develops that relationship with the people that she's serving, there are more information shared. You get more comfortable. You get the ear that you're not using to hear Sally. All of a sudden, I got a relationship with Sally, so that ear is open now. So Sally was hired to help us get to the solution for the problem that we have, and that's what she does. Now, it probably is going to be something technical or IT around Sally, but she's not really. This technical thing is not all IT, guys. So, Sally, you might want to break that down a little bit. What I just said, I don't know.
Yeah. So, and that's what's so interesting about my career path. It's definitely not been linear. But, the company that I worked for, the hospital system I worked for out of my MBA program, they needed someone who could learn their accounts receivable system. And, they need someone who could work with the users and train users and work with, coordinate issues with the vendor. And, that's where I caught my IT bug and, went back and got a master's in management information systems. So, I've grown my career through the software side of technology, administering applications, working with vendors, and, implementing systems, and, then taking on database management roles and been able to pull all of that together to for BI process improvement, business intelligence and process improvements that drive the business forward.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Absolutely. I appreciate how you articulated that, because I think it's important to know your audience, and you did a great job of articulating what you do as a technical business analyst and what value that brings to an organization. And that's the key for our listeners to understand when interviewing, is it's not just having the qualifications, it's being able to articulate your value as you're speaking to the different organizations. So let me ask you this, Sally, and Foster, I hope I didn't cut you off, but
no,
just
go.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out, so we understand your core focus, what you contribute, and the enormous value that you and the team you would be a part of, or the team you would be leading, brings to the organization. Do you have certain industries, target companies, and or locations that you are looking to focus on in your transition?
Well, yes. So I have been blessed to work in multiple industries. So I started in healthcare. That's what my MBA focus was in. Thought I would continue in healthcare, but moved to Dallas and ended up in the oil and gas industry. Absolutely love the energy industry.
Yeah, you got to meet. You and Mayor's got to connect. That's for sure.
And as with, we're watching it right now as the price of a barrel of oil goes up and down. So does employment in that industry. So I, took some time off and did some consulting on various things, and, took a shift and went into financial services, doing a lot of policy compliance work and data management work, which was fascinating, especially when we're talking about big data, really big data.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of that.
And so while I'm industry agnostic, I'm geographically focused on the northeast side of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So being very conscious about the U.S. Highway 75 corridor, Plano, Richardson, McKinney, Plano, Allen, Murphy, Wiley. That is my sweet spot. And I'm
Don't
really
forget
looking.
Frisco.
That's kind of on the far edge.
That's pushing it, but
Okay.
I know. I'm at that point in my career that nonprofits are intriguing me, and so is local and municipal government. Because where I live, I have 5 city governments within 5 miles of my house.
Oh my God!
So,
Sally, where do you live? You're not in Richardson, are you?
No, but we're close by. We're in Parker, Texas, right in the center of Plano, Allen, Murphy, Wiley.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's pretty much the center.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I never knew that. As long as I've known you, I never knew that. Wow. Right smack dab in the center. Yeah.
Right smack in the middle. And nobody knows where it is.
I know.
I'm going to date myself, but for anyone who watched the TV show Dallas and knew about South Fork Ranch, I can watch I can watch the fireworks from my front yard.
And all you nerdy space people like me out there, Parker, Texas is the singularity of the black hole.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You brought a space reference in, so I gotta share my Star Trek reference.
Come on.
To what a technical business analyst does. So, I'm like Uhura. I'm that universal communicator.
You are.
Between
Absolutely.
business and technology.
Okay.
I wonder how many languages Lieutenant Uhura mastered.
Oh gosh, we may have to ask Claude.
We may have to go to AI for that, or even better, we may want to go to our network. We got a number of our network that are listening to the radio show right now, and will probably for the next couple of weeks. So we appreciate you guys. So Sally, would you say for you, when you think about who Sally is, because you know Sally better than me and Dana do, what direction do you think would be one that interests you to go in right now? Yeah, with all your experience.
All my experience. So I really want to get back to my roots. I really want to get back to not from an industry perspective, but and I realize there's data quality and policy compliance to everything, especially in technology with SOX and all the other audits that have to go on. But, really getting back to being that relationship manager, it might be called a product owner, it might be a product manager, it might be a business analyst, it might even be a chief of staff. That's truly serving others, finding those pain points, and picking up the phone and finding those connections back to people, processes, and technology.
There it is.
I'm a connector. So I want to know how the Titanic runs. And I'm going to know when somebody says, I have this problem, I'm going to be able to say, well, I can't solve it, but we need to call Foster. And Foster may not be able to solve it, but he will know who we need to call.
Yeah.
And he knows Dana. So between the two of them, we will find someone that can help us begin to find that solution.
That's right.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah.
That is you. Now, guys, again, we are talking with Sally Binnix, Binnix. I always want you guys to know where to go to on LinkedIn to find these people, because when you have a Sally, I've known Sally a long time, and Sally has a Jobfather seal of endorsement for what she does. I've been around Sally for a while. I know she's good at what she does. I wouldn't have brought her on the show. But you know what, guys? Sally Binnix, Binnix. Again, I just want you guys to know where to go to find. And
absolutely.
So, Sally, okay, and I'm thinking about that question that I just asked you in your answer. Would you say, most of your experience has not been in that area, or has it been?
It has been.
Okay, that's awesome.
But it's cumulative. So one
that's what,
experience
that makes sense.
and solving one problem
Mhm.
leads to another issue. And having, traditionally worked at Smith, I mean, the largest company I worked for prior to my last company in financial services was 1,200 people. So
wow.
when you're, it's easy, and it's easier to find those connections when you've got a smaller population base. But
it is.
where I just made the decision to leave from, it was easy to find those people because there were opportunities if you take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Honestly, I will say that from what I've learned and from what I understand, obviously data is something that's really important. The real-time data can make or break an organization's success. So business analysts are, especially on the technical side, very much needed, very much in demand. As far as your background and your bandwidth, it just sounds like you will be snatched up from the market very, very quickly. Are you open
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So it sounds like based on the geographic location you're primarily looking in, you are open to go into office. And then, of course, if it's fully remote,
absolutely.
then you're able to work for any company nationwide.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And would you say in the market right now, as far as business analysts, are you seeing a mix between hybrid and on-site, or are you still seeing some remote opportunity with these types of roles?
There are some remote opportunities. I just personally, I feel that there's a lot of companies that are trying to get back to the office.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
And you're comfortable with that, right, Sal?
And I'm for the right team, the right geography, and the right culture. I'd be in the office 5 days a week because while I'm an introvert by where I draw my energy, I'm kind of in the middle. I thrive, having these connections and talking to people in 3 dimension is that extra bonus and that serotonin hit.
It doesn't surprise me that you consider yourself an introvert, but it amazes me that you connect so well. I've known you for so long. I've watched you operate for so long. It's easy to connect with Sally, and Sally's one of those people you can go to companies. I want y'all to hear what I'm telling you. She's easy to go to extract that information that you may not know that you need. That's part of her job right there. And she puts it together really well.
Yeah. So
and I'm going to have my connections from, I learned, I'll be honest, I learned this from my mother. My mother was a teacher for 30 plus years.
Mine too.
And she had the cleanest classroom, and she knew all of the custodial staff, all of the office workers by name, would bring them small cookies for Christmas, or ask how did the birthday party go for their grandkid. She always had the cleanest class when others were complaining about resources. So I learned it as a child.
Yeah, you got it drilled into
to network with everyone, not by job title.
But Sally, tell your mom I want the big cookies. I don't want especially if they got walnuts and chocolate chips in them.
Oh no, you don't put.
I can buy my own milk. I don't care. I bring my own milk. BYOM.
BYOM. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
Yeah. And Sally, are you connected with Dirk? Are you guys?
Yeah. Dirk and I connected a while ago. But
I could see you guys tearing off and having a conversation. It's like, okay, y'all hang up so I can call Sally. I got a question for her.
I need to reconnect with Dirk.
Anytime, Sally.
I can see a definite connection.
Definitely popped up my radar. I'm like, oh, that's a blast from the past.
Dirk told me in the
Yeah.
beginning. Dirk told me and Gail Houston and some other ones say, "Hey, I'm gonna outdo you guys. There's some things in recruiting that I don't see you guys doing, and I'm gonna get out there and do it." And he did. And probably if you put in recruiter, Dirk's name's probably going to pull up a lot quicker than Foster's would. And
I don't know about that, Father.
Well, yeah,
You're the job father.
Hey, I've asked
Very
Dirk
true.
plenty questions. We're going to continue to.
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's great, Foster. And Sally, honestly, we're so excited to have you on the show. Your background is phenomenal.
It is. It really is.
Networks and relationships are really, really important. And I got close to the camera. I think my video's running a little bit behind, but it's so important. And the network that you're creating and the way, like you discussed, learning from your family, that we treat people in the office and the relationships we build do make all the difference in terms of networking and building that community. So I do appreciate you highlighting that and bringing that up as we've been talking.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also different perspectives.
Yeah, that's true.
So, out in the community, so I'm a member and former board member of a professional association.
Yeah.
The Association for Business Technology Professionals.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And, we're having our chapter meeting on Tuesday. If anybody wants to connect with me and find out about it, I'm happy to tell you more about it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Helping just, meeting people and understanding where they are and what they do. There's so much to do in technology. We've got more technology in our back pockets than the first rocket that landed on the moon.
Exactly.
Oh, so true. We forget that sometimes too.
Yeah. But then also through networking, I was able to volunteer with an organization in South Dallas called I Look Like Love. And recently joined their board of directors.
Oh, that's great.
And it just gives me a different perspective.
Wow.
That it fulfills my heart and and to serve others. But it also is helping with the empathy and the relationship building and the skills that make me a better person and a better business analyst.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. That is absolutely true. I think sometimes looking at our role holistically, not even sometimes, it's important to look at our role holistically and not get so caught up in the weeds in life that we forget about the impact. Because I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'm so guilty of all the things I have on my checklist.
That's me.
Forget to look at the relationships and what I'm doing from a holistic level. Like you just said, different perspectives, volunteering, understanding the community, making an impact with everybody at the organization, from the most entry level role to the highest level, and not judging people based on their role or their tenure or their title within an organization.
Yeah, we all say we understand that, but we don't prove that out in our walk, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I have improvement for that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dana and I and we definitely got to throw Dirk in there with us, because our job is to swim amongst all of those sharks. Now, I hate to call you guys sharks, but there's so much going on out there now.
There
is something around every corner that seems like it's going to bite you. So how do you handle that? And how do you bring a solution to that? And that solution is what Sally is. Sally's Solution Binnix.
I love that. And you brought something up really important to me, since we were talking about our walk. And I think something too to model for people, which I feel like God has been teaching me a lot more of in these last 2 years with the good leader Laura that I have, is not taking things personally and being able to take a step back from how other people might be behaving or how they're triggered to behave. We don't know their issues or what they've been through, but being able to be the bigger person, whether it's your work life, your personal life, whatever, and being able to take a step back, breathe, and listen. And it comes from basic principles and Proverbs, and then the message is throughout the Bible. So I do appreciate Foster and Sally, the two, bringing up some of those basic principles that popped into my head, and I just thought I'd share, because it's very easy to get caught up, like we talked about, in the weeds. And react and get frustrated when you're working really hard. You have people maybe that don't show the same support.
Oh, I'm hearing stuff. Job seekers be a breath of fresh air out there.
Yes.
It's stale air, but there's some way you can freshen it up. We'll see you guys
Thank
next
you,
Friday.
Sally.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you,
Dirk.
Dana. Thank you, Foster.
Yeah.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godly, this is Radio.
Thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book, because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that is